Hey everyone. Okay, so this chapter gave me a bit of a crash course in acupuncture as we learned the reason why Taro can't slim down, and it's because of Granny Mia. But it's when digging into the weeds of it as to why where this gets interesting. Because according to this little sly old granny, the point on Taro's body that Granny Mia struck in that earlier chapter was his Dantian acupoint. The which is an acupoint on his body that, at least according to what I read, kept his true potential locked away. So by striking it, she not only unlocked a sizable portion of the skill he once had in his prime, without without the need for him to with but he can now access those skills now without the need to slim down. And it is interesting hearing her talk about all this through the lens that Taro has been kind of forcing his body to adapt when he slims down. Like, in a way, Taro slimming down is similar to doping himself rather than allowing his body in order to adapt naturally. But now that Granny Mia unlocked that acupoint on his body, it now like eliminates in some ways the need for him to slim down now, and he can actually work on regaining the skill he once had more naturally without the need for him to without need for him to rely on burning calories and whatnot, as she said. And yeah, seeing his body adapt on the fly in the fight against Apart was definitely one of those epic moments in the sense of how Taro slowly but surely starts to realize what's happening. Like it starts off pretty funny with just like the usual stuff of him saying, "Wait, what happened? What's this power I'm wielding?" And then it's like, "Oh, now I understand. Thanks, Granny. Now I'm gonna kick some ass." Like it's one of those funny things. And one detail I do like about this chapter is when the onlookers ask, "What's that sound?" Obviously, us as the readers can still see the fight clearly in plain as day, but little tidbits like that still show that yeah, Taro's power has been unlocked to the point where he is going so fast that your average onlooker can't even tell he's there, I guess is what that's supposed to mean. And yeah, on Apart's end of things, it looks like his inner demon has awakened in the ending of this chapter, meaning where this is where the real fight begins, as Taro said himself. This fight's gonna take a while because he can recognize that much like he did. He can recognize that much that yeah, he's Apart has unlocked his true potential as well. Oh, and much like he did. Now, it's just a question of who can outmaneuver who in this situation. And while Taro is more technically skilled, I think one thing that does give Apart a slight edge here is that whether voluntary or otherwise, he's been fighting his whole life, whereas Taro only recently had that potential awakened. So it's a question of how quickly Taro can maintain and harness full control over that potential, which this chapter was definitely a promising first step for Taro in exercising that. Like I get this is one of those chapters that makes me feel I feel like we haven't even gotten full scope of just what's been unlocked with just what kind of potential's been unlocked within Taro. And yeah, it looks like this chapter sets the stage to get a glimpse into a part's past, which, given how timid and reserved he normally is, I'm expecting him to use his parents' sort of backstory which yeah, like it. Would you even be surprised if that was the case? Because he does feel like that kind of character. Like I'm no I'm no expert. I'm definitely no and I'm definitely no psychologist, but all the little emotional quirks that a part has, yeah, it's stuff you see, and it is kind of things you might see in people who might have had it a little bit rough in life, and which, yeah, if I did have one gripe with this chapter, it's kind of the same one I brought up last week, which is that with this arc nearing its end, the pacing does mirror that idea that everything now is just setting the stage for the big climax showdown. Like even within the fight itself, I was feeling this, so it's like it's the pacing isn't terrible, but it's also one of those things where it's like I'm seeing the pattern of what what's happening with what's happening with this arc. Not now that we're nearing the end of it. And I'm not gonna lie, when it cut to Granny Mia's explanation of what exactly she did to Taro, it was kind of hilarious seeing Shin just laying there on the massage bed. Like Shin himself wasn't doing or saying anything particularly funny, but just the image of him listening it and while knowing he's like confined to that bed, there's just something weirdly hilarious about that. All, all set up despite the conversation being more serious in tone. Also, continuing from the last chapter, I do like how we get to see how naturally skilled the part is during this fight, like being able to find ways in which to counter Taro, but still showing that when he's in a close-up fight, that's when he's the most vulnerable, although once again, now that he's awakened, so to speak, it's debatable if that's even going to be a weakness much longer. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky and on Crunchyroll. Be sure to click the bell with the subscribe button and just hit the ribbon, guys. Dark Knight of the Moon signing off. Later, everyone.